Hey guys, what's up? I'm Bridgette, an actress and trainer here in New York City, creating positive vibes around kettlebells and helping you train to live your best life. Today we are going to break down the difference between a squat versus a hinge, right? So the other day I was teaching a class and I walked up to a gentleman and I told him, hey, think less squat, more hinge. He immediately put down the weight and looked at me and said, everybody keeps telling me to hinge. What the heck is a hinge? And I was like, immediately taken back, and then I felt so bad because generally in group fitness there's just like absolutely no time to like actually sit and chat and explain things. However, this guy had dropped his weights and was like, talk to me. So this is what I told him. And if you can get these two fundamental movements down, like I'm going to tell you, you're going to be set for life, like totally set up. These are the core movements of so many exercises, if not all of them, to be completely honest. So here it is, the squat. What is the squat? The definition of a squat is when your knees come in line with your hips, right? So the movement pattern here is generally you sink down and then you go up. So it's a vertical movement. I always tell people to keep their chest up nice and high. So like if you had a logo on your shirt, I would be able to see it or you'd be able to see it in the mirror, right? Chest nice and high, shoulders roll back. Now, if your chest is tall and your eyes are looking forward or you're almost like looking up, you're gonna go up, right? So you want that vertical energy. If your chest is down and you're looking down, your upper body is gonna stay looking down. It's just what it's going to do. And then generally, you're gonna start to see some funky things, like your lower body will do like something else, like maybe your knees go forward or your butt like shoots up behind you, and then you have to lift your upper body using your lower back, and it's just like really not good. Anyways, ideally your squat should look like you're sliding down a wall. If you want to elevate your heels by standing on a wedge or like the top of your shoes or like the top of a kettlebell, you can absolutely do that. That's just going to help keep your torso nice and upright, and it's also going to assist in some range of motion issues that you might have. Not cheating. Moving right along to the hinge, which is completely different movement. However, it's still a very fundamental one. The definition of a hinge is when your shoulders are above your hips, hips are above your knees. Now let me explain. If we had a straight line, our straight lines that go across, neither one of those joints would be on the same line. Versus in our squat, remember, if we had our straight line, the knee and the hip would be on that line. In this one, the primary movers are going to be your hips in a backwards to forwards motion. So in the hinge, you want to think about squeezing your core, keeping your upper body a nice container. So like AKA your upper body doesn't move. It's going to stay solid and sturdy the entire time. Your hips go back in space with your shins in a vertical position, not shifting forward. As you send your butt back and shift your weight into your heels, make sure not to lose your core. Remember, we made that a nice solid container. Don't we're going to lose it now, right? Yep, beautiful. Okay, unlike the squat, your body should actually be in a 45-degree angle, chin tucked, gaze straight out in front of you. When you stand up from the hinge position, make sure that you're not shooting the hips forward and overextending your back. You want to think about squeezing your hips, sending them forward, but then driving down through your heels and up through the top of your head, right? So now you're in a tall vertical position versus cranking it back and then putting some pressure on your low back. The second you squeeze your butt and do that, like it literally crunches your lower back, and that's where you're going to get a lot of back pain. Another instance where a lot of people feel back pain is in the down phase. So after you squeeze your core, send your hips back, I want you to make sure that you've got a nice bend in your knees and the shins are upright. A lot of times I see straight legs and the upper body goes straight down, and I'm like, oh God, you're like a 90-degree angle. Keep your chest on a 45-degree angle, shins vertical, and I also like to think about having your quads on a 45-degree angle, if that helps the way you think. This way, you got room for your hips to come forward, right? If your shoulders are down, your hips can't come forward. Okay, let's review. Squat, knee dominant exercise, anterior chain focused, and your hips go nice and low to give you vertical power going up. The hinge is a hip dominant exercise and a posterior chain focused movement, and your energy goes horizontally for the most part. That's the movement pattern. So next time somebody says, find more of the hinge, you'll know what they're talking about. Let me know if you have any questions, like, subscribe, comment if you want to see more of this. Have a great day, guys.